Yo, what's up internet? Pandragon Dan here, and welcome to the next round of March Disney Villain Madness. Today we're doubling up the action as we're bringing you our tag team matches. That's right, you're getting 2 Disney villains for the price of 1 this time. On Morgan's team, she sent forth King Candy and Syndrome. Yeah, I guess they're a pretty good team, quite well-rounded villains. Not quite sure how I can compete with that. Oh, I know. How about I send forth 2 of only the most evil Disney villains of all time? That's right, guys. I'm sending forth the Beast from the East and the most malicious sorceress of all time. Get ready, Morgan. Your team's about to get crushed. Say hello to Shan Yu and Maleficent. Okay, so we've got a lot to get through, so let's not waste any time. Let's begin with the brawn of the team, Shan Yu, the hulking beast of Disney villains, who almost makes Gaston seem wimpy, and that's no small feat. Put simply, Shan Yu is a monster. A vicious Han chieftain with only one goal in mind, to bring China to its knees. And let's face it, if ever there was a major threat to China, at least in the Disney universe, it's Shan Yu. Seriously guys, I think of all the Disney villains, this guy is one of the most barbaric and evil of them all. Normally Disney villains have at least one redeeming quality to them. Gaston, for example, was buffoonish despite his cruelty, and Lotso and Charles Muntz had a tragic past. Hell, even Mother Gothel was probably just that little more likeable due to her wit and brains. Shan Yu, on the other hand, has no redeeming qualities that I can think of. In Mulan, he will butcher anyone that gets in his way. And we aren't just talking about soldiers here. At one point he captures 2 spies, seemingly lets them go, and kills one of them as they try to escape. And later he burns down a village just because it was in his path. And he does this just because he can. Shan Yu is pretty much terrifying in every single way. Just look at those piercing yellow eyes. That alone sends shivers down men's spine. Not to mention he is inhumanly strong. Strong enough to break down a barricaded door and cut down pillars with just his sword. He's also an expert tracker. And he's damn near indestructible as well, as he was buried alive under an avalanche for a good few hours, yet he just brushed it off. And to his credit, he never backs down from a fight and always meets challenges head on. This is evident when he learns that the Imperial armies wait for him near the village, but rather than turning around to avoid them, he attacks them. He even believes that the Emperor built the Great Wall of China as a test of his own strength. If there's one thing that's equal to his strength, it's his overconfidence, both in himself and his army. He believes that no man can best him. Kind of ironic then that he was defeated by a girl. Yep, Mulan does what an entire army couldn't do. Woo! You go, girlfriend! But seriously, Shan Yu is pretty much the juggernaut of the Disney universe. A raging monster that crushes everything in his path. He's definitely the most balls to the wall Disney villain out there. Unlike the traditional more brawns than brains type villain, Shan Yu is equally as intelligent as he is strong. He can strategize as well as pulverize in equal measure, making him the full package when it comes to Disney villains. What he lacks is empathy. And that makes him one of the most terrifying enemies in Disney history. I mean, let's face it, would you want to go up against him? I sure as hell wouldn't. Okay, now let's talk about my star player, the mistress of all evil herself, Maleficent. Just so we're clear, when I'm talking about Maleficent, I'm talking about the Sleeping Beauty Maleficent, not the Angelina Jolie film Maleficent. Not because I've got anything against that film, I just haven't seen it. So any information presented in that film won't be shown here. Okay, now that we've cleared that up, what can you say about Maleficent that hasn't already been said 1,000 times? She's arguably the greatest Disney villainess of all time, if not the greatest Disney villain of all time. Every time I've seen someone do a top 10, or even top 5 greatest Disney villain lists, Maleficent almost always tops the list, or at least appears in the top 2. The Nostalgia Chick once named her the greatest Disney villain of all time, and she appeared number 1 at UltimateDisney.com's top 30 Disney villains list. If I'm being honest, Sleeping Beauty was never one of my favourite Disney films, and if you've watched my video on Mother Gothel, you'll know I consider her to be the greatest Disney villainess of all time. That being said, I know how popular Maleficent is, and I know I'll be a fool not to include her in my team. Plus, now I've actually got to know Maleficent a little more while doing research, I will admit she is a damn good villain. I think what makes Maleficent so appealing is that she's not overly complex as a character. Her motivations are pretty much straightforward. She's just pure evil. Hell, even her name just screams bad girl. And to show how wicked she is, she cursed a baby to die when she pricks her finger on a spinning wheel. All because she didn't get an invite to her christening. That's probably another reason why I decided not to leave her out in this competition. But even when she's at her most malicious, get it, malicious? Maleficent eludes confidence and grace to the point that she almost seems charming. And that smile. Oh boy, that smile. Just be sure not to get on her bad side, because she can turn at the drop of a hat. As her goons find out the hard way. Yep, Maleficent, like any true bad guy, has her own army of goons that she bosses around and zaps them whenever they displease her. Which goes to further prove that being a minion for a superpowered bad guy is the worst possible career choice. Tell the truth, Maleficent doesn't really need these guys except for the most menial of tasks. When it comes down to it, no one has a more formidable command of magic than her. Maleficent's powers are pretty much limited only to her imagination. She can blast you with lightning, create a forest of thorns, hypnotise you. She can even turn into a friggin' dragon, for crying out loud. If that doesn't make her awesome in any way, shape or form, then I don't know what does. And it's only through a magical sword that Prince Philip is able to defeat her. Maleficent may not have much in the way of motivation or desires, but you know what? She doesn't need it. Did the Joker need any motivation to do what he did in Batman? Nope, he just enjoyed causing chaos. In the world of Disney, Maleficent is the epitome of evil. She does what she wants, when she wants, and no one can stop her. She's got grace, power, and an evil sneer that will make even the bravest quake in their boots. I have read that the Maleficent film was created to give her a reason for what she did, but I don't know. I kind of like the idea of Maleficent being evil just for the sake of being evil, simply because she is just so entertaining to watch. I like it how she can be calm one moment and then insane the next. Maleficent knows she's bad and she enjoys every second of it. She's not even a bad guy you love to hate. She's a bad guy you just love. Put simply, no one does evil as splendidly as Maleficent. Shan Yu and Maleficent, the two powerhouses of Disney villains. Woohoo! With a team like that, how can I possibly lose? Let's not kid ourselves here. Morgan's team has a better chance of successfully navigating an asteroid field than beating these guys. Of course, they can only win with your votes. So click on the description below to vote for your favourite. And let's help Shan Yu and Maleficent crush these whiny little crybabies. Voting will stay open until the 15th of March. And as always, check on my blog and Morgan's blog for more updates. Check back again on the 15th for the next tag team match. Until then, peace out guys. See you next video.